set up over here and boom. All right. Welcome everybody. Meteorologist Kevin Phelps here. We're going to go live on YouTube and on Facebook. So I'm going to give everybody several minutes to kind of chime in here. That way we can start answering your questions, increasing confidence here in a winter storm as we get post-Thanksgiving. We'll leave this map up here for just a little bit as everybody's kind of getting underway here on what's obviously a windy Wednesday. But right now, we have a better than a 50% chance to meet winter storm warning criteria along and north of Interstate 80, specifically on Saturday. So what that means for us is we're talking at least 6 inches of snow in 12 hours or 8 inches of snow in 24 hours. So we are going to have this busy weather forecast on a very busy travel weekend. So as we give some people time to join here, of course, you're always more than welcome to hop in there, ask some questions. I'll be here to do that. That's kind of the whole point of this, right? But as you get into the next several days, we're going to be able to refine this forecast even more and really get into the specifics of snowfall amounts. But right now, we're leaning towards winter storm warning criteria north of Interstate 80 on Saturday, probably winter weather advisory criteria south of Interstate 80, and of course I'll dive into deeper details on what that means here shortly. But right now we obviously have the early first alerts out, not just for the weekend, but you got first alerts here for today. We have high winds out there. You probably know this by now, but I do think in terms of our first alerts that go all the way into Sunday, it's going to be more for travel conditions being a little bit problematic there on Sunday morning. So right now, if you're looking for post-Thanksgiving travel ideas, Friday's good. Sunday afternoon looks good, but Saturday, early Sunday morning, not so much. So let's just kind of take a look at these highest wind gusts here this morning, and then let's jump into that winter storm for you. We've had gusts over 60 miles per hour in Cedar Rapids, 56 here in the Quad Cities. So this is a very windy stretch regardless of where you are at here this morning, and I fully expect those winds to be gusting over 40 and 50 miles per hour as you head into the afternoon hours. So yeah, Lavonda's saying she can hear it knocking on her window here this morning. Yeah, same here. Hopefully you tied all those inflatables down. Here's where I expect the worst conditions. This is severe weather threats. Snow really is going to be from about midnight Saturday morning until midnight Sunday morning. Visibility is obviously going to be reduced. The heaviest snow time frame looks to be between 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday. But roads, this is the concern. We're traveling, right? You can kind of see where we have these brighter highlights between really noon Saturday all the way through 6 o'clock there on Sunday morning. So this is when I expect us to likely have the worst commute time frame. I think as you get into Sunday afternoon, crews obviously going to be working diligently through the holiday to help those roads improve. And in terms of wind, I don't foresee it being overly too strong here, but it's enough to create obviously that lower visibility. So here's the long and short of it. Obviously, we've been talking about this winter storm here for quite some time, but it takes a while for us to actually get the details. So obviously, we were seeing signs of this, a week and a half ago, but any little perturbation in these model runs really throws things off. So that's why we've been saying forecasts have been between 0 to as much as 12 inches. But now as we're getting closer and closer to this storm system, again, we're 3 days out, the deviations are not going to be as big in those model differences. And so we're kind of focusing that snowfall range now where we're likely seeing that chance for some winter storm warning criteria to be met. Now, here's the thing that I'm most confident on, and that is actually the timing of the system. All of our long-range models have been very consistent with snow starting up here late Friday night and continuing as you get all the way into very early Sunday morning. So let's take a look at our two main long-range models. As you get to the next 24 hours, our short-range models are going to be able to also produce forecasts here like this, and there's certainly going to be some situations where things might be a little different. So here we go. Confidence and timing. Midnight Saturday, snow is starting up here according to both Model 1 and Model 2, but I think the heaviest snow between 6 o'clock Saturday morning through the early afternoon hours on Saturday, and then notice as you get towards Sunday at midnight, things really begin to wrap up pretty quickly, and then we'll give those crews time to clean things up. Now, this is Model number 2. Now again, we said the timing of this is very, very similar. It also shows snow starting up here around midnight Saturday morning. The heaviest snow occurring around 6 o'clock Saturday morning through the midday hours. But you start to maybe see a rain snow line here as you get into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening on the very southern edge. So what this is telling us, Model 2 taking more of the northerly track. That would bring that rain snow line into play for our southern counties. Model 1, a little bit more to the south, keeping this mainly a snow system for our area. So again, timing, 100% confident on when the precipitation is coming. The confidence not quite as high south of I-80 in terms of what type of precipitation here, at least right now. So model comparison. This goes all the way through Saturday night at 10 p.m. There are 6 models. Model 1 and Model 6 are short-term models, so they have not had the chance to get a look at this data just yet. But our long-range models, medium-range models, they've been pretty consistent with producing snow on the order of 6 to 7 inches in the Quad Cities, with heavier snow setting up to the north. So again, if that all occurs in 12 to 24 hours, that certainly meets our winter storm warning criteria. And then as you kind of jump forward into this, last year we had our least snowiest season on record. We only picked up 8 inches. The reason I'm highlighting this, we could get more snow out of this system than we did all of last year combined. So you need to probably kind of be prepared for this in terms of maybe having your snowblower kind of tuned up and ready to go if you haven't done so already. So you have today, tomorrow, and Friday to get this done. Again, probably looking at 1 inch to 3 inches in our southernmost counties, and then 3 to as much as 8 inches here from the I-80 corridor and northward. So this is enough to, again, break out the shovels. Obviously, travel is going to be impacted with this. And then again, as terms of holiday travel, I could expect maybe a few delays here as we get into today. We're not seeing much out of O'Hare right now, but that's the area I'm most concerned with. And it's pretty understandable because it's going to be windy there today. But all flights out of Moline have been able to get out on time, at least this morning. So I'm going to take some questions here, and I don't want any of it, Robert. Yeah, I don't blame you there either. Ready for the snow, Chucky? I'm sure a lot of you probably are. I know my kids are. Amanda, thanks for joining. We're going to run through maybe the rest of today's forecast, and then we'll jump back into kind of what we're expecting again over the weekend, because that's probably why a lot of you are joining here early this morning. So mostly cloudy here right now. You can see that Bettendorf flag is certainly flying, but look at these wind gusts right now between 40 and 50 miles per hour. I fully expect to see these winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour through 3, 4, 5 o'clock here this afternoon and this evening. So even though the air temperature is going to get to the mid-30s, you're not going to feel much warmer than the teens and 20s. Now, if you are looking for maybe some improvements in the wind, we will see that later on this evening, but there's what it feels like outside right now, teens and low 20s. But as you take a look at the wind gust here, this is kind of a lot of information going on this map, to say the least. But what it's demonstrating, we're going to continue to have winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour well into the afternoon. But I'm going to fast forward this here to about 9 o'clock tonight. And this is where you kind of start to see some of these areas highlighted in blue off to our south and west. That's kind of showing us that winds are going to be gusting below 30 miles per hour. So the wind advisory does expire at 6 in the evening. The problem is, I still think these winds are going to be gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour here as you get into tomorrow morning. And of course, we have a lot of people doing the turkey trot. So look for it to feel like the teens here on your Thanksgiving morning. We are enjoying a lot of sunshine though, and those northwest winds will once again kind of reinforce this cold air mass as you get into the weekend as well. So we're looking for highs generally in the mid-30s here Thursday and Friday. And then obviously as you get into Saturday and Sunday, we have our first alert days here for that potential first winter storm here of the season. So I'm going to pull this map full. Let some additional folks join. Here's our confidence and chances of meeting winter storm warning criteria. And you kind of see that in the subheader there. Chances of seeing at least 6 inches of snow in 12 hours or 8 inches of snow in 24 hours. I kind of think it's leaning more towards the 8 inches in our northernmost counties over the span of 24 hours. This will be a long duration event where it starts up again as early as 11 o'clock there Friday night and continues through very early Sunday morning. So that's a long duration. How will it be Monday morning commute? Phyllis, that is a great question. I fully expect all this precipitation to wrap up very early Sunday morning prior to sunrise. So I think it should give those crews enough time to get out at least on the main roads and get those all clear. But yeah, we should be in okay shape here by next Monday. We had that 7-day forecast pulled up. And that's one of the things, if you're seeing the forecast here that we're calling for highs in the low 20s, that's a pretty good sign that we're going to have fresh snow on the ground, and that's going to allow for some really cold temperatures. Now, thankfully, I think any of those systems kind of bypass our area, so while the commute itself is going to be cold, I think roads should be in okay shape here by next Monday. I know Davenport doesn't have school on Monday, so by Tuesday there should be no issues with that. But overnight lows are going to be in the single digits here behind this system, so get ready for full-blown winter. This is going to be feeling a lot more like January and February as opposed to late November and early December. So again, increasing confidence in a winter storm impacting our area. Too early to get into actual specific amounts for your individual area. I think in the next 24 hours we'll be able to do that, but we're erring more towards a better than 50% chance of meeting winter storm warning criteria. And again, you can see that in the subheader there. That would be 6 inches in 12 hours or 8 inches in 24 hours. And we have not had snow like this in a couple of years, believe it or not. So I'll pull this map full once again as I turn my attention towards the comment section here. So Car Mendoza, thanks for joining in here. How about driving home Chicago on Saturday night? That doesn't sound like too much fun right now. I'll pull myself full for that. Snow is going to be ending from west to east. So Chicago a little bit more to our east, right? So it's probably not going to end in Chicago until about 2 or 3 in the morning. And if you're talking nighttime, evening time frame there, Car, I would expect roads to not be too fun to travel on here on Saturday night. So what we've been talking about here for the better part of the last few days is to try to make some travel plans now ahead of time. Black Friday, you're in fine shape. And then if you can hold off until maybe midday on Sunday, that would probably be a better chance to have those roads a little bit safer. Now, again, I can't make that decision for you. You got to use your best judgment on that. But I would certainly keep the First Alert Weather app on hand. You can pay attention to all of the... Oh, no, I lost my microphone. Get handsy here, but you can pay attention to the Illinois DOT for road conditions. Obviously, we're going to keep you updated here at TV6, but yeah, the worst travel times are going to be, let's see if I can pull that actual graphic up here. The worst travel times are going to be between 6 o'clock Saturday morning through 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. Now, it's not to say it's going to snow the whole time. You're probably going to have some breaks in that, so here we go. I'll circle this for us on this timeline. This is the worst road, 6 o'clock Saturday morning through 6 o'clock there on Sunday morning. So there's your Sunday right there. Here's your Saturday time frame. So kind of laying that out for us. Wet and heavy or light and fluffy? Great question, Justin. This is going to be one of those snows where I think it starts off, it's going to be wet, and then as it wraps up, it is going to get a tad bit fluffier. So we're going to be looking for this to kind of stick to everything because roads are going to be cold enough. That also means I probably should have broken out the snowball meter, the snowman meter. Should be good packing snow, at least for early on out of this storm system. So in terms of shoveling, that might not be too fun. Traveling tonight to Indiana to Fort Wayne. This is Shanae asking this question for Thanksgiving, and then driving back on Saturday morning. How will the driving be? Okay, obviously Fort Wayne, southeast here of the Quad Cities. Problem is, the more northwest you go, the more snow there's going to be. It's not going to be a fun travel day. I would either leave early Friday or, again, hold off until Sunday midday if you can. Fort Wayne is, about 5 hours away, I think, maybe a little bit less than that. So I would probably try to consider some alternate travel plans. I know that's hard to do here on a holiday weekend. We all want to go see our family and our loved ones, but you'll have to be the one that makes that decision. I obviously can't do it for you. I would just say use your best judgment on that. And if you are out there, take it slow. Give those crews times. They're going to be working overtime here over the holiday weekend. So this is kind of what we're looking at. I'm going to run through some of the more specifics on this as well. I'll just check in our YouTube stream to see if we have anybody commenting on there. Timing of start and finish. Kai, it's going to start up. Okay, this is, you know what? I'm going to pull myself full here. We are most confident in the timing of this storm. It's going to start up midnight on Saturday morning. So Friday night, 11 p.m. to midnight there Saturday morning, snow starts. Snow finishes midnight Sunday morning. So it's about a 24-hour window here, all day Saturday into very early Sunday morning for the snow to finish. Now, we need crews to have time to clean things up. So that's why I still think we're going to have some travel issues here on Sunday morning, and proving conditions there throughout Saturday if you do have to get out on those roads. Saturday doesn't look too fun for air travel there either. So this is why we have these early first alerts out here for the weekend. Obviously, today we have a first alert day in our own right. And Chucky, you were asking about winds. That is one of the issues here on Saturday morning. I think as Saturday afternoon arrives, winds are going to diminish. So because the morning hours, the snow is going to be a little bit wetter. The blowing snow, I don't think, is going to be a major problem here with this. Of course, I know in open and rural areas around here, it's always kind of an issue. But as the day continues on Saturday, winds will get lighter and lighter. The problem is there could be a significant amount, so it's going to take us some time to maybe get out there and clean up those roads. So let's take a look at our highest wind gust here so far this season, or so far for today. I could probably update that Cedar Rapids one because we did get a gust of 62 miles per hour here earlier, 56 miles per hour in Moline. This has led to spotty power outages this morning. So for those of you joining me on Facebook, obviously thank you for joining. What I want to highlight is if you do lose power here today or this weekend, have the TV6 News app. You can get us anytime on there, the live stream, even with the power out. So again, the severe weather threat, snow, midnight Saturday through midnight on Sunday morning, lowest visibility between 6 and noon. The worst travel time, 6 o'clock Saturday morning through 6 o'clock Sunday morning. And then for those asking how many inches estimated, let's get to that here in just a second. Let's see here. I'm kind of jumping around on some of my graphics here. This is what models are kind of throwing out there right now. Christy is the one asking this. This only has our long-range models and medium-range models right now. Model 1 and Model 6 there on that graphic. We will get those in tomorrow morning. You need to be within 72 hours of the event for us to have those. That's why we don't put actual forecasts out for snowfall amounts until 3 days in advance. At the same time, it doesn't matter if you get 4 inches of snow or 25 inches of snow. Roads are going to be a mess here on Saturday, especially north of the Quad Cities. So again, I showed you the confidence level of meeting winter storm warning criteria. I think we're certainly ending up somewhere in that 6-inch range in the I-80 corridor northward. But until I get some better information in, until we are able to sample this storm system, there's really no concrete, confident forecast in terms of the amount. And again, 4 inches, 10 inches, it doesn't matter. Travel's going to stink this weekend. But here we go. This is what I kind of want to draw your attention to. We didn't have really any big storm last year. We only had 8 inches for the entire season. So we didn't really use our snow blowers very much last year. You get those tuned up today, tomorrow, or Friday, and maybe rearrange the garage if you haven't done so. This is the time to do so. So again, you kind of see there on the lower left-hand corner, I'll highlight this as kind of a general rule of what we're expecting right now. While this isn't technically the very confident forecast, we're trying to get ahead of it as much as we can. Maybe 1 inch to 3 inches in our southernmost counties. The reason being there's a rain-snow line that could provide us with a wintry mix, and then again 3 to 8 inches really along I-80 and north. That's what we're looking at right now with the best information that we have available, and that information is only going to get better, and the data is only going to get better as this storm system kind of rolls back into the area. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I've been looking at holiday travel here today. We're not seeing many delays, thankfully. That's great news if you are planning on flying out of Moline. I'd probably expect some delays to begin to develop, though, as the day continues in Chicago, and you could probably guess why, because it certainly is extremely windy, and it's these winds that are going to continue here for the rest of today. So as we kind of fast forward this into the afternoon, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts on a routine basis, but starting around 6 o'clock, you kind of see this lighter shades of blue here off to our south and to our west. That's wind gust under 30 miles per hour. That is why I expect to continue here as we get into really the early morning hours there on Saturday. So as you kind of take a look at the forecast as a whole, looking ahead to next week, highs are only in the 20s, single-digit lows. So we're kind of erring on the snowier side of this forecast. Yeah, we had that fresh snow on the ground. That does create those very, very cold mornings and a very kind of January and February-like stretch of weather. So are we going to be in a winter storm watch tomorrow? Chucky, yeah, we're probably going to be in a winter storm watch. Again, those headlines are not issued until 72 hours ahead of the system. So we kind of fall within that window late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So yeah, I'd probably expect those to get issued probably maybe as early as this afternoon. If not, by this time tomorrow morning, we're going to have those winter storm watches posted. So again, confidence is growing in that aspect. Let's see. After the storm, is there going to be a polar vortex on Sunday? Jason, we're in the polar vortex right now. That's just part of the jet stream, and part of that Arctic air kind of broke off, and that's what's setting us up for this potential winter storm this weekend. And the reason I say that, we have not been very cold. It was warm yesterday. We were in the 50s despite all that fog and all that cruddy and gloomy weather that we had. So roads are still really warm. But now that we're going to be in the mid-30s and lower here from today into Thanksgiving Day and on Black Friday, that's giving our roads times to cool off, and then we'll certainly see that snow begin to accumulate it now on Saturday. So that's kind of the idea behind this. This is setting us up to get our snow. The polar vortex right now, this Arctic air, is setting us up to have that snowfall here this weekend with that winter storm, which obviously we continue to see increasing confidence in that. And again, the details of this are only going to get clearer as we get towards this system. So for folks that are asking right now, should I be okay traveling tomorrow? Absolutely. Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, you get 2 thumbs up for travel. If you are traveling, say, Friday night, and you're trying to go west, I would probably do that earlier in the day because snow is going to be starting up in western Iowa during the afternoon hours on Friday. So that was a really good question, David, but I'd be more concerned with maybe getting home, maybe waiting until Sunday afternoon. Chucky, how much snow is I'm not getting into super specifics on individual towns just yet. We'll start doing that tomorrow. But you're probably going to be in a winter storm watch, so that kind of tells you what to expect there, especially with our graphic saying that 6 inches in 12 hours or 8 inches in 24. After the storm, let's see, we already talked about that. Taylor, we've already been kind of addressing that here throughout your morning. Just kind of continue. When do you think snow will arrive Friday night? It's going to start off 11 p.m. That's as specific as I can get on that. Midnight Friday morning, or Saturday morning. Sorry, let me get that straight. 11 p.m. Friday night, midnight Saturday morning. So yeah, very late at night for that. Let's see, lots of travel questions. You're okay to travel ahead of this storm system. Pre-Thanksgiving travel, unless you're flying today, the winds might be the only issue. But for most of us, pre and on Thanksgiving Day, even Black Friday, travel is fine. It's going to be Saturday that's pretty problematic up until Sunday morning. Traveling to Indiana, yeah, we already answered that question. I'm going to jump over to the YouTube stream right now and see what kind of questions or any comments that we have on there. Not seeing much on that. So I'll go back to our Facebook one. So happy Thanksgiving, David, to you as well, and to everybody that's joining us on this weather stream that's been going on for, I don't know, the better part of 15, 20 minutes now. And I'll try to stick on this here for maybe about another 10 minutes for those that are just joining in. I know it's the last kind of work day for a lot of us. My kids are off here today. They're off all the way through next Tuesday, which is kind of nice for them, I suppose. But right now, we have that increasing chance for that winter storm. So again, we have several first alerts out there right now. Obviously today, you've known about it as we were kind of joking on the show this morning that hopefully you tied down those inflatables, or if you're holding on to them, you might fly away with them here today. You got some snow and wind on Saturday morning. The wind is on Saturday morning. That's what I would like to stress. As the storm system evolves here on Saturday, it just turns into kind of this light snow event. But it takes time for it to pile up, and the winds do relax there on Saturday. And then again, we're continuing the first alert through Sunday, and really it's going to be through about noon. I think after the midday hours on Sunday, I mean, with snow wrapping up here by midnight Sunday morning, but it gives crews about 12 hours to kind of clear those area roads. So here's your wind gust here this morning. I'm going to run through this entire thing, and then I'll come back and answer your questions, because I see one on here that my kids have been asking me about already. I don't have the graphic right off the top of hand, but I'll talk about a white Christmas here in just a minute. But all right, so highest wind gusts so far have been between 49 and 61 miles per hour. A severe thunderstorm warning is issued at 58 miles per hour. So we've had some almost severe weather style criteria met early this morning. Here's our winter weather threats as you get into the weekend. I've been talking about the worst travel times, 6 o'clock on Saturday morning through 6 o'clock on Sunday morning, with improving conditions there by midday as we're able to kind of clean up this snowy mess. What we've been talking about as far as this winter storm forecasting goes, obviously, you can't deny it, right? You see it on social media, 100 inches of snow here and there. Well, when you do these forecasts that far out, it's not really a forecast because it's garbage data in gives you garbage data out. So as we're getting closer and closer, we're starting to get more cohesion in our models. So right now, we're kind of on this day 3, day 4 type track where we're really starting to hone in on that obviously range of snow, which we know is lighter to the south, heavier to the north, and the track of that system is going to play a pivotal role in that. And here's just kind of the subtle differences between our two main models right now. The timing is in 100% agreement. Starting up, this is Saturday at 12 a.m. For those that keep asking, when is this going to start? I'm going to pull this full for us. Starting Saturday at 12 a.m. Remember, this is just one model run, but it shows the heaviest snow in the area between 6 o'clock in the morning into midday on Saturday, and then gradually tapering off into the afternoon. Those are the temperatures. We're right around freezing, so this will be a wetter snow for us here early on, and then it shows the snow wrapping up by 6:30 on Sunday morning. Notice that one was all snow for the TV6 viewing area. Here's the difference as you get into Model 2. We've told you it's been very consistent with the timing. That's midnight on Saturday morning, showing snow starting up. It also shows the heaviest snow starting up around 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Notice there's some pinks in there near Ottumwa. That would be categorized as a wintry mix. This is showing the quote-unquote more northerly track, which means that rain-snow line is going to be very close to the area. It also shows temperatures in the 30s and continuing with the heaviest snow through noon on Saturday, and then also showing that rain-snow line there near Peoria and Macomb by midnight on Sunday. So 15 to 20 mile track northward, that could bring that into the TV6 viewing area. That's why the confidence of the track is not very confident right now, for a lack of a better word, but it is timing out correctly, showing that this is going to wrap up by 6 o'clock there on your Sunday morning. Here's our medium and long range models. These are suggesting anywhere between 5 and 7 inches of snow in the Quad Cities. Models 1 and Model 6, those are short range models. We will not get data for those until tomorrow at the earliest. So once we get those, we'll certainly have more of a bigger picture look of what to expect as we get into the weekend. Now, I said 5 to 7 inches of snow. The reason I want to highlight this, we didn't get hardly any snow last year. 8.2 inches. It was the least snowiest season on record here in the Quad Cities. In fact, you go back to 2023-24 season, well, we officially picked up over 30 inches of snow. All that came in 1 week. Yeah, it came in 1 week in January. We had 2 winter storms producing over 15 inches of snow in the same week. After that, we didn't have anything else. So it's really been quite some time since we've had to get out and break out snow blowers on a consistent basis. So now, today, tomorrow, get those tuned up and ready to go. If you haven't done so, find the shovels, get yourself prepared to kind of use all that stuff here. Again, we've talked about holiday travel ad nauseum here. Here's just a look at what we're expecting for the rest of today. You got those windy conditions. We have cloudy skies. Aside from the wind, travel is good today. Travel is good on Thanksgiving Day. It is good on Black Friday as well. So temperature-wise, we're going to feel like the teens and 20s. It's not going to feel any warmer than that here today. And then we already had that wind gust outlook, but if you are doing the turkey trot here tomorrow morning, there's your feels like temperatures in the teens and 20s. So make sure you're layering up if you're out there running in that. And then I'll take the 7-day full for you. Obviously, the first alerts continue through Sunday, but it's going to be Monday and Tuesday where we feel and look a lot like winter. We're talking highs only in the 20s, single-digit lows could lead to some wind chills below 0 here early next week. So I'm going to turn my attention back to some of these questions here on our feed, and the one that I will talk about here just pretty quickly. Chucky was asking, are we going to have a white Christmas this year? On any one given year, we actually have about a 40% chance of a white Christmas. It's 1 inch of snow on the ground at 6 a.m. on Christmas Day. So it's kind of a very specific criteria, right? So we have not had that in several years, actually. But if we're looking at the way the forecasts are kind of playing out in December, running colder than normal, I would be probably erring on the side of a better chance than not to have a white Christmas this year. Eric asking, ice first, then snow, or just snow? Great question. I think we're going to have just snow with this system, unless you are south of Highway 34. That brings that wintry mix into play. With temperatures hovering right around freezing, ice doesn't appear to be a big issue, at least out of this storm. So as we get forward, maybe into a little bit later in winter now, maybe that becomes more of an issue, but I'm not overly concerned about that here with this system. So great question. Hopefully that answers that for you. When do you think snow will arrive Friday night? Ginger, we kind of talked about that. It's 11 p.m. and after, and it wraps up 11 p.m., midnight, maybe through sunrise on Sunday, which is, again, sunrise, to kind of put that all in perspective, is around 7 o'clock here as you get into your Sunday morning. So we're obviously at the latest sunrises of the year. Winter officially starts here in 3 weeks, and then we'll start seeing daylight increase, which I know will be very happy for everybody on here. If you're traveling throughout anywhere in the Midwest, this is just one of those things that you're going to have to pay attention to. I don't care if you're heading south or north, it's certainly going to be an issue across the upper Midwest. And yeah, a good thing the Festival of Trees Parade wasn't today. Yeah, those balloons would not have been allowed to go up, especially with these winds that are gusting over 50 miles per hour. Not to make too much fun of it, but a few years ago, we didn't tie down the TV6 balloon very well. And it wasn't as windy as it was today, but that balloon ended up, I think, somewhere in Indiana. And thankfully, we got it back. If you watch the Festival of Trees Parade, we were walking along with that. But yeah, that balloon today would have certainly ended up in Ohio or much farther away with these strong wind gusts, as we've been talking about, have been between 50 and 60 miles per hour. So we'll go back to the double box here, and then we'll show you kind of the main take home with this. Our confidence is growing that a winter storm is going to impact the area. Folks along and north of Interstate 80, so Savannah, Clinton, Sterling, Anamosa, Galena, Dubuque, Charlotte, you have a better than 50% chance of hitting winter storm warning criteria. What is that? That's 6 inches of snow in 12 hours or 8 inches of snow or more in 24 hours. So there you go. Kind of take that for what it's worth. I think there is the one good thing with this is it's going to be over the course of about 24 hours. So it takes a while for us to get that amount of snow. The problem is it's going to stick to roads. So if this was even a 1-inch snow or a 10-inch snow, the impact of slippery travel conditions and low visibility is the exact same. So I want to stress that. I'm not overly concerned about snowfall amounts. It's just a busy travel weekend. It ain't going to be fun to travel on Saturday in our area, but you guys get to make that own decision. We can give you all the information, and you guys got to use your best judgment out there for that. I obviously can't make that decision for you. I'm going to kind of wrap this up. Thanks for keeping the community informed. Hey, what's up, Kayla? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see, what else do we have on there? Just checking through everything. So yeah, already answered. I'm not concerned about ice. You can kind of see that rain snow line that I have drawn on here from Mount Pleasant down to Burlington, this lighter shaded green. I'll kind of draw this on this map here. It's right here. This is probably the area where I'm least confident on the type of precipitation. Again, you know, living here in the Midwest, 5-10 miles can make all the difference of the track of the system. So we're most confident on the timing, least confident in the track. Now, I think we're getting pretty confident that north of I-80, this is going to be mainly a snow event, but south of I-80, there's still a lot of wiggle room with that in terms of the impacts on travel, the amount of snow, things like that. When is the snow starting? Supposed to go to Thanksgiving dinner at 1 p.m. Are you talking about on Thanksgiving Day, Christopher? Because if you are totally fine. Snow doesn't start until about 11 o'clock Friday night, and then it's going to wrap up about 5-6 o'clock here on Sunday morning. So it's a long duration snow event, but I do think we're going to see some significant amounts for the first time in a couple of years. In fact, some areas probably going to see more snow out of this system than we did all of last year combined. So it's been a long time since we've had something like this, and I'm sure all the snow lovers are rejoicing here at this point. So we've been doing this for a better part of 30 minutes. Got a few more things. I'm going to go look at some more model runs. Of course, we're going to be setting up weather balloons here in the next couple of days to help us better assess this system, and that'll tell us the strength, the amount of moisture, and again, the track of the system is going to play the most important role with actual snowfall amounts with this. So with that, I'm going to wrap this all up, and of course, we're going to be doing this here throughout the next several days. As the closer the storm gets, the more confidence will increase in this system, and we'll keep things updated here online. The First Alert Weather App is going to be your best friend here over the upcoming days through the holiday weekend. So thanks for all the questions. I'll try to jump in the comments here afterwards and continue to monitor everything. But with that, we're going to end this live, and we'll get you guys back to whatever we have on the streaming program right now. So thanks for joining.